Why, hello, and welcome to another episode of the GSMC Wrestling Laureate Podcast. I'm your host, Eric Rodriguez, every Monday through Friday on the GSMC Sports Network. Here to talk about everything in terms of professional wrestling, from AEW to WWE. We talk about it here. If it makes major news headlines in terms of WWE, we talk about it here on the show. And not just WWE, AEW. Sorry, I lied. Today's Wednesday. Hope you guys had a great hump day. Guys, don't get too crazy. My mom always referred to this day as hump day. You're kind of, getting up to the hump in terms of, the week. We got, football Thursday, we got Friday football, we have Sunday football, Monday football. It's all gonna make it worth your while. We have AEW's All Out pay-per-view that's gonna happen as well over the weekend on Saturday. Wise choice. Wise choice. You didn't decide to go up against the NFL on Sunday. So maybe that might be, kind of a consistent trend that you probably see all elite wrestling and Tony Khan kind of move toward. But thank you so much for tuning into the GSMC Wrestling Laureate Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. I'm your host, Eric Rodriguez, and on tap to today, this show, we have our WWE NXT review. We have our AEW Dynamite preview. We're also going to talk about Swerve Strickland's new contract in AEW and how WWE negatively reacted to it, basically, kind of criticizing Tony Khan for making kind of making superstars kind of push what they're worth. I'm not that's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing. Obviously, these guys, they travel 365 days a year, probably more than any other professional sports athlete in the world. So, maybe it's a good thing. Honestly, I probably say it is a good thing. Tony Khan knows how to take care of its superstars. Obviously, WWE's kind of always been in that, like, what do we really have to say? What do we really have to do to kind of push the envelope? How can we get this superstar, at minimal cost, as well? And that's just business. That's just business. Nothing really to frown upon, but I don't know. I just thought that was interesting overall how WWE kind of was hating on AEW, how they signed Swerve Strickland to that big contract. In our fourth segment, we're going to talk about Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan has signed a new deal with WWE. Is it good? Is it bad? We talk about it on the fourth segment, so make sure you stay tuned for that. And then our fifth and final segment, something we do every Wednesday. I give you guys my Wednesdays weekly wrestling news. I talk about all the major breaking news headlines in terms of professional wrestling. So yeah, let's go ahead and dig on into it. But of course, before we do any of that, I want to remind you guys to go ahead and hit up that super chat. Whether if you got a burning question or just something that you've been dying to get off your chest, here at the GSMC Sports Network, we are all ears 1,010%. So make sure you guys become part of the show. Make sure your voice is heard. Your voice is definitely treasured, and it is part of the mix. So don't be shy. Drop your thoughts inside the chat. And if you really want to make sure your comment or question gets noticed, why not use that super chat? Just hit that dollar sign below the chat box. It keeps the lights on in terms of keeping all the sports content in terms of the GSMC Sports Network going, so you can get more of your awesome free sports content. And we are absolutely so grateful for each and every one of you guys, 1,010% who joins us here daily. Your support makes all the difference. So let's keep the party going. Let's make sure we stay together, and together we will make sure this podcast is bigger, better, and stronger than ever. Hit up that super chat, hit up those super stickers, because you guys are super awesome, 1,010%. And once again, if the super chat thing is not your thing, we are still at the GSMCpodcast.net. Hit up the tips and donations link. Tell me what you like, tell me what you don't like. Give me some feedback. Your feedback is a gift. 1,010%. Here at the GSMC Sports Network, we do love a lot of peace, love, and positivity. But overall, if you have something to say it. That's what this podcast is ultimately designed for. Remember to Superman punch that like and subscribe button to the show. Follow the show, follow the network, and I guarantee you will be happy. You will be happy. All right, so we have our WWE NXT review. We have Trick Williams calling out Pete Dunne at the start of the show. Ethan Page obviously came out. He successfully retained his title at NXT's No Mercy, which was, it was all right. Although Trick Williams kind of got screwed over with his title match, Ethan Page rubbed it in his face saying that, I defended my title twice successfully. Probably, Joe Hendry, top TNA guy, definitely is a force to be reckoned with. That was a good win, but of course, there was smoke and mirrors, and the waters were muddied a little bit. But then you faced Oro Mensa. That's, I'm not trying to hate on Oro Mensa, but overall, no, it's not that impressive, dog. Like, come on, dude. Trick Williams had to face you, Sean Spears, Javon Evans in a fatal four-way match at NXT Heatwave and was unsuccessful. Kind of sucks, but it is what it is. Trick Williams is right now on the outside looking in terms of the NXT World Title predicament. Next, we see the Rascalz in a three-way triple threat match to determine the number one contender for the NXT Tag Team titles. You had Gallus, you had Hank and Tank, and overall the match it was perfect. I give it a 5 stars, 5 out of 5. You saw the Rascalz kind of do what they do. You see the reasons why they're here to stay on NXT. TNA is definitely I feel like TNA is on the cusp of starting to benefit from what NXT has to offer. We've seen Charlie Dempsey go over there, Riley Osborne. We've seen, Kendrick Bourne. No, I don't think could be misspoke. Speaking of, I want to see Chase Hugh go over there. That'd be pretty badass. I want to see Moose come over to fight Oba Femi. That'd be dope. You had in the women's division, Izzy Dame and Tatum Paxley. So, the Rascalz winning this match was really big, and I like this opportunity for them. 1,010%. Next, we saw a match between Oro Mensa and Lexis King. Lexis King was able to pick up the victory, which I was kind of, I was surprised about. But Lexis King, he's fallen off the map a little bit. He did win this match, so right now he's still kind of, he's still in the limelight as of right now. But a superstar from AEW that, was, thinking greener pastures in terms of WWE. Sometimes there's just way too much talent, and it's not an indictment on, Lexis King or some of the superstars that came from other promotions to WWE, especially under the Triple H Paul Levesque era. I don't think he was, kind of dealing with those Vince McMahon problems, like how Vince McMahon wanted to make sure all the other talent that was in WWE got buried. But I don't think that's how Triple H kind of does things around WWE anymore. So, definitely, to be patient. Be patient. I feel like Lexis King will overall get a storyline pretty soon here. He made it personal, but he was able to steal the match. But Earl Mensa, Metaphor is slowly declining. Miss Jackson, Lash Legend, I think will eventually kind of steer off in their own. No, Noam Dar, the Supernova, which is kind of what Metaphor is all about. He's kind of that, he's that crap talking guy who's going to get in your face, and he can back it up. For being a small dude, Noam Dar could definitely hold his own inside the squared circle in WWE NXT. So I feel like when he comes back, maybe Shawn Michaels will kind of put them more in like a better booking. But as of right now, I don't know. They just seem kind of lost. Next, we had Tatum Paxley successfully win her match against Rosemary, which was shocking. I thought Rosemary was going to come in, in a blaze of glory and just absolutely demolish Tatum Paxley. But obviously that wasn't the case. I kind of took it a little personal, in terms of, a WWE superstar once again beats TNA. And a lot of wrestling fans are thinking about this, especially when Wesley said it last week on NXT, how, WWE superstars will always overtower TNA wrestlers. And I don't know, I was kind of hoping for Rosemary to pick up the victory, but I saw exactly why they did it. You're going to see probably a tag team match between Lyra Valkyria. Lyra Valkyria, by the way, returned to WWE NXT. It was great. Tatum Paxley was able to find a familiar friend. Lyra, she's back in NXT, and I don't know. It just goes to show, when you have them premiering on the CW October 1st, they're going to need some top end superstars. I feel like Lyra Valkyria's run in WWE is after she, came back to NXT last night. I don't want to say it's over. She was my heavily favorite to win the WWE Women's Speed Championship, which happened today, the first round. But being on NXT, I feel like it's perfect for her. You saw Tatum Paxley open her, wide open arms, which I feel like overall will be really well for her. I feel like it's going to do great. Why not use the talent you have to kind of promote a promotion like WWE NXT? And I don't know. I maybe she has another round left in her. I overall kind of have sus feelings that she's probably going to be the one to answer Jordan Grace's open challenge next week on NXT, which would be great for Lyra Valkyria. She came this close to winning the Queen of the Ring. She was very successful on Monday Night Raw. But now that you have this pure fusion collective, they kind of squashed it, left Lyra Valkyria and Selena Vega by themselves, and then you have Damage Control. Most likely, you're going to see Oscar return to kind of even the odds a little bit here. Maybe create like a 3-on-3 women's championship match would be pretty. I think it'd be pretty. That'd be pretty badass. I would love that booking. But Lyra Valkyria belongs in NXT. It's better than her going up to WWE and being kind of shoved to the side like you saw. Like you see Indy Hartwell, like a lot like you've seen Shayna Baszler. And if that's what it takes for her to be noticed, because Lyra Valkyria is very, 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 very amazing inside the ring, and only the sky's the limit. Sky's the limit. So definitely think she's gonna do great things in NXT once again. Then you saw Trick Williams and Pete Dunn finally get in the ring to fight each other. They've been fighting back and forth backstage. It got to the point where it was kind of like ridiculous when one of them was like, hitting a promo and the other was like, they start beating each other up. And like, I was like, all right, okay, I'm getting this, maybe like a CM Punk Drew McIntyre vibe a little bit here. But overall, I feel like it was, sorry, my God, why is this happening? Sorry, I got sweat in my eye. Oh, all right, I'm alive. I think I'm alive. All right. But anyways, this match between Trick Williams and Pete Dunne, overall, I feel like it's a good booking. I do feel like it's a good booking, better than Drew McIntyre and CM Punk. But they and I did a double count out, and these guys are still beating the hell out of each other. They're going to fight next week in the last man standing match. That should be pretty awesome. Next, we have Javon Evans defeating Joe Gallows. Big win. Big win for Javon Evans, making it kind of like 1-1, one apiece in terms of their series fighting each other, like where kind of like on SmackDown where you've seen Andrade taking on Carmelo Hayes, a former, NXT champion. Oba Femi defeated Channing Stacks Lorenzo. Jasmine Nix took an L against Jada Parker. Parker looked, she actually looked kind of injured. A couple of notes that I wrote down. I feel like Jada Parker was kind of nursing an injury. She was going a little slower than usual. And all in all, I just, I respect and I love Jada Parker. I think she's great. Right now, Jasmine Nix, part of this fatal influence. Jasmine Nix, Fallon Henley. I love that Jada Parker challenged Roxanne Perez for the title. Kind of keeps her name imminent, a little prominent in terms of WWE NXT. Although she did lose, one of those things where, like, even though you lose, you kind of win here. And Jada Parker, she's going to be forever seen as an NXT Women's Division main eventer because she was in that match, because she keeps getting dubs on the daily, and eventually she will be a champion. I agree with that 1,010%. I kind of thought maybe, her and Sol Ruka were going to be the ones to actually be the inaugural WWE NXT Women's North American Champion. Obviously, Keilani Jordan won it, and, she's doing a great job. She's doing a great job all in all, but, kind of crazy. Lastly, on NXT, Roxanne Perez was confronted by Gulia. They're going to fight. They're going to fight on the first episode of NXT, airing on the CW October 1st for the WWE NXT Women's World Heavyweight Championship. So that should be great. I can't wait to see that. It's going to be, it's going to be awesome. It kind of needs to be awesome. That show needs to be, perfect as hell. All right, guys. Well, hey, do not go anywhere. We're going to jump on into our AEW Dynamite preview. It's Wednesday, so once again, we talk about Tony Khan's promotion. Grab your favorite snack, grab your favorite ice cold beverage, and join me here. So, hey, do not go anywhere.